to introduce us. Big Heck and Lil D? My girlfriend said not to use Lil D because if we blow up and Lil D's my name forever.
You roll with it.
All right, what's up, guys? David Nussbaum and my colleague Hector El Lobo at WheelsBoutique here. We do this video every year, or we try to at least, and we are picking out the best build that we had per month. This one, we tried to narrow it down to 12, but it was impossible for 2 of the months. So we had to do 2 honorable mentions, and I just want to go over everything with you. Now, we try to pick builds that have other things, right? So instead of just having wheels, it has suspension or exhaust or body kits, because a lot of people don't realize that we do everything here. So just off camera, we have 2 Mercedes G-Wagons getting wide body Brabus kits. We have a Porsche 992 getting a TechArt kit, a Ferrari getting a Novatech kit. So that's the sort of builds that we want to showcase on this. So brought Hector here because him and I have varying differences in opinion. We talk about stuff all the time. So let's get it kicked off with January. So do you remember this car in January?
Should be interesting. At the top, we have Benz Personal 992 Turbo S on a HRE S107 SCs.
What do you think about that car?
Beautiful, beautiful, perfect spec wheels, perfect spec color, PTS Oak Green, I believe.
Metallic,
correct? Oak Green metallic, beautiful, beautiful car. Best 992 till date that in my personal opinion, don't kill me.
I agree. No,
in my humble opinion.
I agree. So a lot of the cars that are on here, well, not a lot of them, but some of them are cars that we owned and we built. And we do things radically, so when people see how everything looks, it's absolutely phenomenal. And then of course Andres on the very first car wants to ruin this for us. But anyways, Oak Green Metallic had the HRE S107 SCs in gold.
Yes.
The gold combo that had the frozen polished gold for the center and the polished gold for the barrel. And everybody would call us for this setup, asking us to do this setup. We've done it on other 992s. We even did it on a Ferrari that's later on the list that I'll show you guys. But this, to me, is the best daily driver. 600 horsepower. After you tune it, cabriolet, like it checks all of the boxes. All of the boxes. So I'm very happy with that build. There's a couple of other sets that we did after that, an HRE 5-spoke, an Anarchy set as well. But this one, to me, the gold setup was out of control against the Oak Green Metallic.
100% agree.
So it had to be on this list. It had the IP exhaust. We did DME tune. We took it to the track. So that thing was absolutely bananas. But we'll move on to February now. We wanted to get a McLaren in here. So we have the 720S Spider on the Anarchy S1 X4.
This one was a very good one. Had a lot of aftermarket parts. This is what we would call a build.
Yeah.
It's not something that we would just put wheels on, something that we actually went, we put a lot of carbon parts. This is David's personal client, so he can actually tell you more on what was done to this car.
Yeah, so on this car, this owner actually used to, well, he still does, I should say, watch our YouTube channel, and he called me one day and he said, hey, I have this McLaren 720S Spider, and I want to send my car to you guys from Houston, Texas. So he shipped the car down to us. We did the Anarchy wheels that are in that polished smoke. Which
Shout out to Houston.
Shout out to Houston. Chopped and screwed music, what's up? And then we did a full Vorsteiner kit on this. So Vorsteiner calls it the Silverstone kit. It has a carbon front spoiler, side blades, rear diffuser, aero wing. I mean, this car was absolutely nutty. We did Novatech sports springs to lower it. We did IPE exhaust. We did DME tune. So the whole nine, the full works. So now for this year, this customer's actually bought an Aventador S, and he will be sending the car down again. We're gonna be doing a really cool radical kit on that, so maybe it makes it to next year's list. Before we let go on this one, what do you think about that blue?
Blue is beautiful. I think, I'm almost sure that is not a regular blue. I'm pretty sure that is, again,
That's actually called not regular blue.
Not regular blue.
That's what it's called. McLaren calls it MSO, not regular blue.
Yes, so coming from a McLaren background, I definitely know that this is not a regular blue. It's not one that you've seen. Probably the first one that I've ever seen in a color. Beautiful, I love it. Again, one of my favorites.
Yeah, that one, I'm glad we had a McLaren on the list.
Yes.
So moving to March, Now we start getting into the nitty gritty
My
of the
favorite.
rally. Hector here is a G-Wagon owner. I am not, but he is. So he's balling more than me. And for March, we have a black Mercedes-Benz G63, the new one. And we did the Brabus Wide Star body kit. We did the Brabus front roof LED spoiler. We did lowering springs, anarchy wheels. I mean, again, the whole nine.
Yes.
And as of late, we've been pumping out so many Brabus Wide Star G-Wagons, it's not even funny. So if you go to our Flickr account, which is actually the very first place that we upload our high resolution images of builds, just in January alone, we have that cardinal red one, it's a flat red.
Yes.
We have a silver one. We did a black one, our very own Arabian Gray,
Correct.
which actually had these wheels with the Arabian Gray for the ring. So for next year, it's going to be very hard to pick the January.
Very hard.
But on this one, we have the March. What do you think about the black on black G63 with the white star?
Since I saw the car, I loved it. Again, not to say anything, it's probably one of my favorite builds that I've seen as far as the White Star. Why I like this one personally is because this one, I believe, was one of the first one we lowered on H&R springs. So the car did look a lot different from previous ones that we built. Lowering this vehicle does make a huge difference. Once you lower it, the stance goes down, the gap between the wheels.
And you don't lose any of the ride quality.
And you definitely don't lose ride quality.
And so another thing that blows people's minds, and we should kind of get into the wheel specs a little bit more than we did on the McLaren and the Porsche previously, but when we do the wide body kit, you can fit a 355 rear tire, which is what we do. These G-Wagons next to us are getting it. It's a 355, 25, 24. So 24-inch diameter, 355 millimeters wide, just absolutely bananas. I think the car comes with either 285 or 295 in factory.
Correct.
So, you know, when you get this wide body kit, you're widening up the fenders a lot. The fitment is just phenomenal. And we have everything down packed, so you guys don't have to worry about rubbing or poking or anything like that.
Correct.
So, and in the front, a 295. So
it's nuts.
It's absolutely bananas.
Yes.
So we're gonna move on. Where are we? In April, right?
Yes.
Right now we're in January, but in April on this list.
In April on this list.
We've got another car that we own. So actually Ben drove it here today. It's the Porsche 993 Turbo 305. You would not believe how much joy I get from teaching Hector the different generations of 911s, because there's so many numbers. There's 930, 964, Speedster, GT3, this and that. So I do like to converse with Hector and shoot some topics with him on Porsches, and we talk about this car. So this one, we bought it with I think 14,000 miles, and it has PTS Midnight Blue Metallic, which on a generation after this, 996, 997, and newer, that was a standard color. But on the 993 Turbo this generation, it was a PTS color. We did everything on this thing. So you've got the Brembo brake upgrade kit.
Yes.
We've got the HRE 305Ms.
Yes.
We've got the Bilstein PSN S10 coilover kit. And then we have the TechArt Performance exhaust. So basically, all of these modifications can be easily reversed if the next owner wants it to go back to stock. But all of these modifications are stuff that 993 Turbo customers already call us for and order. They're the most popular. It really brings the car up to par with the today's performance standards and things like that. Have you driven this car?
I have not driven this car.
Do you want to drive this car?
I don't think I want to drive this car. I don't even know if I'll fit comfortably in there, man. I gotta ask Ben. I'm gonna do it one of these days. We're gonna get a video for you guys of me driving this car next time.
What's your cutoff to drive comfortably in a car? What model year?
Oh my God.
You're kind of bougie, so you're like 2015 and newer.
Yeah, definitely. I'm more of a newer guy, bigger car. That's why the G63 is perfect for me. Let me tell you that, again, our 992 was one of my favorite cars. I drove it for one day, I want to say, down to the track, and I enjoyed that car. So that definitely is one. I'm not sure.
have a great photo of you driving that car. I'm gonna send it to Marvin so he can edit it into the video. Yeah. So you guys are gonna crack up on that. But going back to the 993 Turbo, on this we did 19x9, 19x12 with the H3305Ms, and I believe it was a frozen polished clear. So it's a great finish. You know, Ben drove in here today. I think he left early because he's the boss. So I would have showed you guys that car, but that's one of my favorites. Absolute showstopper whenever we go to a Porsche event. So that was April.
Yeah.
So now we're going to May. This one is right up your alley.
Yes.
Why don't you go over this one?
So this is gonna be, again, and I'm sorry to keep saying it, one of my favorites. This was a very
one of my
list.
favorites.
One of my favorites.
We should start a counter. One of Hector's
favorites.
counter.
So it's one of my favorites. It's a Rolls-Royce Cullinan on Forgiato Trimestras, and it has the Novatec Overdose.
Spofec Overdose.
Kit, yes.
They've got 500 names for it.
What I liked so much about this car was the color combination. It was the first time that I ever got to see a Cullinan in this gray. What gray would it be?
I call it badass gray.
Badass gray, that works. Burnout gray, you know. But besides the gray, we have this beautiful, beautiful Hermes orange interior, which just is amazing. Yes.
But you would know that.
Again. Which just, when you open the doors, it's just a beautiful, again, the kit, the wheels, the car came out perfect. I think it doesn't take away from the lines already of the car. It's something that's still elegant. It's not overdone. As I've seen a lot of these cars get overdone from other kits, I think Novatec did a great job with this. It still keeps all of its line, like I said, intact. It's very classy. It's not out there, it's not crazy. So I definitely love this car.
I agree with all that. The reason that we wanted this on here also is because obviously the Novatec Spofec Overdose wide body kit, but also Forgiatos. So we don't put Forgiatos on cars very often. They're often like show wheels, which you could put on the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, but there's two really big reasons why we did Forgiatos on this. Number one is that not many wheel manufacturers, I should say, make a 26-inch wheel, and Forgiato does. They don't care. They're like, hey, we'll pump it out in 30 days. Number two is not a lot of wheel manufacturers can maintain the Rolls-Royce floating cap.
Correct.
And that, to me, believe it or not, a lot of my Cullinan customers and our Rolls-Royce clients, one of their number one things is they want to maintain the Rolls-Royce floating cap.
Yes.
Like they absolutely do. So it's a necessity, and Forgiato allows us to do that. So we're able to use that wheel setup and do it. And so you think 26s are really big when you hear it and you see it on paper, but next to the proportions of this huge SUV, it looks perfect.
Yes.
So we have a lot of Cullinans being pumped out again. I don't know what the scheduling department is doing, but January for next year is going to be impossible for us to pick this video because we've got the wide body G63s that I mentioned and the wide body Cullinans, and Hector's behind, or Marvin's behind in the camera. He takes photos of all those things. I mean, absolutely amazing. So really looking forward to next year's video. But honorable mention for this month is the C8 Corvette. Now, I'm not a huge C8 Corvette fan, but this C8 Corvette is freaking badass. And when we featured it on our channel, we've got so many hits for that specific video, and it's very surprising sometimes to see what videos take off and what videos don't. This one absolutely took off. I had so many calls for C8 Corvette owners. You had so many calls from C8 Corvette owners. They said, hey, I want exactly what you guys did on that orange Corvette. And we told them, say less, because we knew exactly what car they were talking about. This belongs to a customer of mine who, again, followed our YouTube channel, shipped his car down from New York, and we did all the modifications to it. So we painted the side blades, we did the lowering collar, we did 5-speed exhaust, we did Cook's headers, Anarchy wheels, I mean, the whole nine. And on top of that, it was a convertible as well, I believe. So he got to enjoy it when he came down here a little bit with that Miami sunshine. We did a 20x9, 21x12.5 with a 245/30/20 and a 325/25/21 tire. I'm just a nerd memorizing all the. You can't say the S word on here, right? Okay, blur that out. But anyways, Joe, if you're watching, I know you are watching, thank you for sending that car. It was a truly special one, and it kind of set the bar for all the C8 Corvette customers moving forward. So that had to be an honorable mention. It was very hard to pick that or the Cullinan. We wanted to get some American muscle on this list, so we have done so.
So we should mention, anybody who's waiting on their Z06, send it to us if you want it. You know, if you want it to look great.
Yeah, we already have the fitments for the new Z06.
Exactly.
It's a big secret, but we're WheelsBoutique. We're known for our fitments, so we've got that covered for you guys. You guys have to order ahead of time because wheels right now are taking a couple of months to manufacture. We can already build them ahead of time so that your Z06 is not on stock wheels for a single mile.
Correct.
So next up, fish whips.
We have to say nothing else. You know,
anytime
you say fish whips, you already know he's gonna break the neck.
If you don't know who Fish Whips is, he is a really good buddy of ours. He's been a buddy of ours for 10, 15 years. And on Instagram, he has Fish Whips. That's just his handle. All of the cars you see there, he basically says, hey, I got this car. Here's the keys. Do whatever you want to. And because he allows us to do that, we treat it the same way as if it was one of our own cars, and we just go balls to the wall.
Correct.
So could you read to me what that wheel size in the rear is?
21 by 13 and a half.
That's not a typo. So we did an Anarchy AN24 set. The rear is a 21 by 13 and a half. And it uses a 355, 25, 21 tires. The front is, just a 10 and a half and a 285. I mean, so this finish, what do you think of the two-tone brushed with polished finish?
I absolutely loved it on this car. It looked amazing. At first, I was a little bit iffy because of the colors. Once it all came together, this car came out amazing. The brush, the polished on the windows, the Petronas blue, I believe, on the calipers.
Which we did here as well.
Yes, which we also did here as well. It all came together. I think it looked perfect. You couldn't have done anything else to the car. It looked amazing. It looked perfect.
With this car, it makes me realize that we don't look past the small details.
Yes.
Because I remember when we were doing this wheel setup for him with the finish, we noticed that the calipers were just a little bit off, and we're like, you know what? Let's go the extra mile. Let's refinish the calipers. It's something really cool. And I remember when I posted just a regular cell phone shot on my Instagram, which is david.wheelsboutique, this car blew up. Which is, I'm not a photographer. I snap it
off your phone.
And off my phone, and it was, people went bananas for it. So
I mean, there's nothing not to.
This thing's a beauty. So thank you to Fish for always trusting us with your cars. That's how they're all about us. That's how they're all about us, truly. So next up, we've got the Dodge Ram TRX that we owned on a set of Anarchy AN36S. And so if you remember back at the Porsche that we did in January, we fell in love with that gold combination. So we did that same combination with this. How many phone calls do you get of people asking you what the fitment is on this?
A lot of phone calls.
What do you tell them?
Hey, you gotta buy them to get those fitments, not?
Yes, so a lot of people ask us, how did you do 22 by 12? How did you do 35 by 12 and a half by 22 for the tires? That's what we're known for, we're the fitment specialists. So a lot of the times, we'll buy the car, in this case, the black TRX, we bring it in-house, we do 3D scanning, we do test fitting, and we figure out what the maximum threshold is for these cars, and then we build the coolest fitment that you can basically do. I don't even know what happened to that truck. I think he sold it?
So this one, I believe, was here. We could call it the Flash, because not only did the wheels not last, the car did not last.
That's true.
We posted the wheels, I believe the next day, Ben literally took them off the car and shipped them out somewhere. Some guy just fell in love, just like everything else. Most of the time, they fall in love and they're like, they don't want to wait. So he took them right off the car. We shipped them out. So somebody else is out there, somewhere in the Midwest, just killing it.
And these are not cast wheels.
These are not cast wheels. These are actually two-piece FMR forged wheels.
Yes, I think it was the first set that they ever did for a truck.
Yes, first set of the FMR two-piece wheels from Anarchy. So these things are amazing. I love the color. I've had so many requests for this specific combination right here. Again, this combination, I believe, is the combination of the year. If I had to pick
for trucks,
the frozen on the polished gold just looks amazing. I know it's sometimes A lot of people think it's crazy, but when they see it on the car, it goes perfect.
TRX or Raptor?
TRX.
Why?
Because I drove both and TRX. Believe me, there's no comparison.
And this is some consumer advice. Put a kill switch on your TRX,
yes,
guys. Because things down here in Miami and other places are just insane with car theft. But moving on to the next month, this one is probably my favorite. So we have Hector's counter of favorites.
Yes.
All of them is your favorite, but this is probably my legit.
This is your favorite.
So this is a Porsche 992 Turbo S, and we did the full TechArt body kit. S3 X3 wheels. We did TechArt lowering springs, H&R lowering springs, and then we did the IPE performance exhaust. We sent the turbos to Pure in California, so we pulled out the turbos and we upgraded that. So this car had literally 15-20 miles when it came to us. The owner did not want to drive it stock, and we sent the turbos out to California. We sent the ECU out to California as well, and we had it tuned with Mitch at M Engineering. So this car is putting out close to 1,000 horsepower. We had a similar car with all of the same builds, dynoed, and it was at 850, I think it was 848 horsepower to the wheels for an all-wheel drive car, which is bananas. That the crank is close to 1,000 horsepower. So what do you think about the TechArt body kit for this car?
I loved it. Again, it's one of those things that from getting to know the Porsche brand, because like you mentioned, when I came in here, when I came into WheelsBoutique, I really wasn't well versed with Porsche, and along the line about from the year and a half that I have here, Dave has shown me a lot about the Porsches, and I've come to get a great appreciation for the brand, for the cars, and this car just came out amazing. Just from when our guys were putting it together, I was in awe. The kit is it's beautiful. It came out amazing. The combination, everything that was chosen, the TechArt kit is beautiful, and I'm not much of a fan a lot of the times of body kits and stuff like that. I believe more simplicity, but this car is it's beautiful. Again, it's not overdone, it's perfectly done.
And shout out to our techs, Chris, Andres, Emil.
Yes.
They do such a great job of putting these things together. With TechArt, it's pretty easy. They're manufactured in Germany. They usually get these cars directly from the manufacturer, which in this case would be Porsche, and they do a bunch of aero testing. They 3D scan the whole car, so all of the pieces fit perfectly. They all fit like a glove. It doesn't give our guys a lot of headaches, which can't be said for a lot of parts that people will see on eBay. I'm not going to name the country of origins, but you can see where they're being shipped from, and a lot of those parts are just knockoffs. They don't fit right. You have to drill into the car, so it's a huge no-no. When you do a German aftermarket parts manufacturer like Brabus, Novatec, TechArt, the pieces are immaculate. They fit perfectly. And it really adds value to the car, because TechArt will actually say, hey, they'll give us a letter of approval that this car was built as a TechArt car, so when this customer goes to sell it, it's going to be worth way more. I mean, just think about the cars that you see on Bring a Trailer now that are either built by Rentec or TechArt or Gimbal or any of these people from the 80s. Those skyrocket the prices. So the same sort of thing with this. In all honesty, nobody really wants a factory-looking car.
Correct.
So when you tastefully modify it and the customer goes to sell this car is going to stand out, and he's going to get way more money than what he paid for. So that's another reason why we do these sort of things. Next up,
goody.
Lamborghini Urus, Lamborghini, Automobili Lamborghini Urus on the Novatec Esteso wide body kit. So Novatec has a different name for their wide body kits depending on what car it's for. For the Cullinan, it was the Spofec Overdose. For the Urus, it is the Esteso. This also had the carbon fiber hood, which is really cool because it's a two-tone. So half of it is painted in white, the same as the car. The other half is the exposed carbon. On this, we did the Anarchy AM31s. This is the same fitment that we do on the wide body G63s, believe it or not. So 295 front tire, 355 rear tire on 24s. This one had the IPE exhaust, the DME tune, and the lowering links. One thing you're gonna find as a common theme throughout this whole video is IPE exhaust. They are hands down the best sounding for a lot of the vehicles.
Agreed.
So, and they have excellent bang for the buck. We oftentimes do Novitec, Krapovich as well, a couple of others, but from a pure sound perspective, it's very difficult to beat IPE. And I think this belongs to a client of mine that I was trying to convince him to do the twin turbo upgrade so he can get close to 900 horsepower on this thing, because that thing would be a rocket. What do you think about the full AN31 with the wide body? What do you think about the wide body for the Urus?
Again, beautiful. It goes perfect with the lines of the car. Doesn't seem like a very overdone car. It looks very good. It doesn't take away from the lines of Lamborghini. A lot of times you put a wide body kit and this thing kind of looks like a transformer.
Yep. Which
a lot of our clients, if you know about WheelsBoutique, you know us, it's always about being distinguished from a factory car, but not being, just out there, just being very, very wild and stuff. So, it's very subtle. It's not factory, but it's not some transformer looking thing. It's very nice. It's classy. In a way, the AN31's Energy did a great job with this. The brush face, brush windows, brush lips. The combination just came out beautiful. I mean, in person, this thing was the next day, I believe we saw this set as soon as clients saw this one. So this thing came out very good for the person that, wants to stand out there, but doesn't also want to be this crazy, doesn't want to also, do
doesn't want to be tacky.
Yeah, doesn't want to be tacky. There you go. This is a perfect car for you, And again, like you said, we could reach 900 plus horsepower on this car. So, you could either go to the office or go to the racetrack.
And what I like about this is that it shows the versatility of Novitec's designers, because the Cullinan kit looks like it came from Rolls-Royce factory. It looks very classy. This one looks more aggressive to play with the Lamborghini aggression. So if I told you, or a lot of people, if I tell them that this body kit is the same as this body kit or from the same brand, their mind is blown, because the design language is totally different.
Yes.
So Novitec does a really good job of doing that. That's why we have this Urus on the list. An honorable mention for this month is actually another car that we own right now, which is our Carmona Red 997.1 turbo on H3 527Ss with 4,000 miles. How many miles does your G-Wagon have?
My G-Wagon right now has about 6,000 miles.
And how old is it? Brand new. This is a 2005, and it has 4,000 miles. And you guys should see the carbon interior. It's absolutely bananas. Of course, it is the stick shift. So a couple of weeks or months back now, I took this car to a Porsche meet down the street from us. Ben took the 993 Turbo that we mentioned earlier in this video, and the 993 Turbo actually sells for more money. And it has more modifications to it. But when I pulled up in this thing, people weren't even looking at the 993 Turbo.
Oh yeah,
It's insane. This is a stunner. The Carmona Red, it's a very rare color.
That
for this.
red, it's just.
I think I started going down that rabbit hole of the Renless forums, and I discovered that in this color combination with the stick shift in this model year, there was like 18 or so we were fortunate enough to own one. This is probably one of my favorite cars. I mean, the style is just amazing.
Totally agree. But of course, we couldn't leave it stock when we got it.
Right.
So we had to add our WheelsBoutique touch to it, and we just made it that much better, because the car from stock was already stunning.
Yeah. I was trying to look back here to see if we had this model on the wall, but we don't. We have a similar one, which would be behind Hector, which is a 305M, but this is a three-piece 527S. We did a 20x9 and a 20x13 with a 345, 2520 in the rear. This is another fitment that a lot of people call me for, begging me to give them the fitment. I said, hey, look, listen, we can't give it to you until you place an order with us. Because a lot of people don't even realize you can fit a 13-inch wide rear on the 997 Turbo or the 345, but we do it. You can do it on factory ride height, or you can do it on the Bilsteins, which we did on our car. So this is this red wine color is beautiful. And Marvin, which is again behind the camera, did a great job of getting pictures and showcasing the finish, which is really hard to do sometimes. And I think it's underappreciated, and it needs to be told whenever he does a good job, because that's amazing photography work. Next up, Drive with Dre on Instagram.
You know, whatever he's gonna pull out.
He's like another fish whiz.
Yes, he's another fish whiz.
So this guy lives in Canada and ships us his cars. And so we have his 600 LT on Anarchy AN18s. What was the name of the wrap?
So it was Enositech.
Enositech?
Enositech.
Ezonitech. Enositech. Almost got it. This is the Enositech wrap Crystal Blue Pearl. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Whatever it's, you know.
Crystal Blue.
Crystal Blue.
Enositech, send us a check for having you on the video and tell us how to pronounce your name. But what did you think about that wrap?
It was very beautiful.
And the color of the wheels and the caliper refinish.
Yes, so this car was originally black, I believe. So when I first saw it, we put the wheels on it. Car did look nice. When I saw it a couple days later and I saw this blue, I was just thrown back. The blue is just beautiful. It goes great. It meshes very well with the white Anarchies. It's beautiful.
This is a very Miami car.
Yes, it's definitely for Miami. It's definitely for Miami.
For Canada. And so I actually visited Canada for a friend's wedding, and I was mentioning to them that we had this client, and they're like, oh, we see his cars all the time. Yeah. So he's like pretty well known. I think in the Toronto area, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might be the Montreal area, I don't know. Dre, if you're watching the video, I apologize, but your cars are amazing. So thank you again for trusting us on that. We did the caliper refinish into that pink. We did the Anarchy AN18s in gloss white, which takes some meatballs.
Yes.
It takes some cannolis. So unbelievable. I'm at a loss for words with that car. I'm not a huge McLaren fan, but this made me a McLaren fan when I saw it in person. So, I mean, truly unbelievable. Again, IP exhaust, the whole nine. So definitely, if you've got a cool McLaren, you gotta send it down to us.
Yes.
Just the same way that Randy at Savage Garage sends us his SLS Black Series, which I believe is still here getting some stuff done. But if you guys are familiar with our channel, you're probably familiar with Savage Garage's channel. They're actually way larger than us. Randy is a really good buddy of ours. He sends us his cars down from Maryland, and we have his SLS Black Series here. I think they only made like 150 coupes, maybe 300 max, but it's an extremely rare car. We did Anarchy AN38s on it.
The amount of horsepower that this thing is gonna make.
Oh yeah.
You know.
With the supercharger kit, absolutely incredible. So, want to finally cap it off with December, we had to get a Ferrari in here.
Yes.
So we have the F8 Tributo, black with yellow stripes, with the gold wheels, very similar to the very first car that we had, which is the Porsche on the list. And it's S107 SEs, they're two-piece wheels from HRE. Frozen polished gold for the center, polished gold for the barrel. This had Novatec springs, IP exhaust, DME tune. Again, same sort of theme. The whole works. What do you think about black with gold as opposed to black with black?
Again, black on gold. I always tell clients, what is the point? How do you like to show up? Do you like to show up and be a crowd stopper, or do you like to show up and just park and not have? So this is a great example. A black on black like Randy's car is something that you can show up and it's gonna cause attention just because of the car, but it's not gonna go crazy. This car, just because of the wheels, again, my favorite combination of the year.
Yep. Again,
because of the frozen polished gold and the polished gold lips, this combination is great. If you want to attract attention, if you just want to be like, I got here, I'm here, this is it. This is the car, this is the combination. I love it. It's awesome.
And we did so many Ferraris this year. This happens to be, it's not the best Ferrari in my opinion that we've done all year, but it's the best Ferrari that we did in December. And so we really try not to cheat and say, oh, this is a top 10.
Yeah.
We kind of wanted to show you guys what the best build was for every month. So next year's video of this, we just literally today delivered an SF90 in green with HREs that looked bananas. Way better than almost every car on this list.
Yes.
So that's definitely going to be January next year's video, so for 2022. Or if you prefer us to just do a top 10, because we could also do that.
Yeah.
We could do a top 10 next year as opposed to a build every month. But regardless, if you guys go to our website, which is www.wheelsboutique.com, you can actually click the gallery tab, which I'm on here right now. You can sort the photos by vehicle make. You can sort the photos by vehicle model. So if you have, let's say, a Porsche 992, you can go there, click there, and you'll see all of the Porsche 992s that we've done with the various setups. A lot of times, somebody will call us and ask us, hey, what's your opinion on this? And we say, we have so many options. We've had literally thousands of wheel options. So first, let's kind of narrow it down, see something that you've liked that somebody else has done before, and then we can kind of build on that and do different things. So definitely in the comments section, I want you guys to let us know what your favorite build was on this list. Also, go to the other videos that we had the year before and the year before that, and tell us what you think, what you thought about those. And also, if you want us to do a top 10 instead of a 12 or one best of every month, because on this list we have 12 plus 2 honorable mentions, so it's actually 14 in total.
Okay.
And again, there might have been a Ferrari in another month that we liked a little bit better, but there was another car that trumped it, so I think actually a top 10 would probably work out better.
Yeah.
It would also be a shorter video.
And this wasn't easy. I mean, we could have had 2 cars every month that we could have showcased. You know, we do so many, and it was very tough. I think it took us a very long time to actually do it. So, you know, for 2022, we got a lot in store. Again, like he said, this SF90. I mean, it's already hard to top. So I can't imagine what we got for 2022. It's nuts.
And on top of that, we're gonna do a lot of. We're carrying another wheel brand now called AL13, which is up there. They've been around since 2012. I mean, if you just look at this video, I'm not sure if the camera can capture it, but their stuff is just nuts. There's some wheels off angle here. Hector, talk to them for 20 seconds. 20 seconds, bud.
So like you mentioned, we have the AL13 here. As you can see, this beautiful brushed pink
Look at
that
this.
they did, the Aero Disc. This is one of the new wheels they debuted at SEMA. I mean, this is just nuts. I want to say that we showed this off right at the end of 2021, and we put it actually on Benz G-Wagon, and we've had a lot of hits on these wheels. So anybody who really wants to get out there and wants to do something crazy, I would do it with the pink. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So next year, for the 2022 edition of this video, we might do a top 10, but it's going to be a lot of nutty builds because we already started off crazy in January. So I just want to do a special thank you to all of the manufacturers that I named in this video. I'll try to name it now. Novatech, Brabus, HRE, Anarchy, IPE, DME, M Engineering,
AL13.
AL13, you know, Novatech, TechArt. If I forgot you guys, I apologize, but without you, the manufacturers, we wouldn't be doing what we do.
Yes.
Without the clients, we wouldn't be doing what we do. We enjoy it every second of the day. So we hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's a little bit long, so thank you for those that have stayed from the very beginning. That you guys are the true car geeks like me and Hector, and hopefully you'll be seeing a little bit more duo of us, a little bit more.
Right? 2022, definitely.
Maybe podcasts.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Podcasting.
That's no
on the way.
Big Heck and Little D.
Big Heck and Little D. Big Heck and Little D.
All right, Marvin's telling me in the back. Let's go. Let's cut it. The battery's dying. So we'll see you guys next time.